Alright everyone, my name is Sev. I'm going to show you how to properly generate your collision. Due to the recent influx of band-aid fixes for broken collision that are appearing on the Nexus, which I would highly advise against using, I decided to make a video showing how to properly generate collision. So, for starters, we're going to need our NIF file. It's right here. We have this. This is from Forests of Lorwyn 2, which I just released a bug fix mod for, which optimizes a lot of this stuff anyway. And the other tools that we're going to need are some form of NIF optimizer, CEO or SSE NIF optimizer, NIF scope, NIF util suite, and sniff. Those are the main tools that we're going to need. We don't need anything else, no creation kit, no nothing. To start off, what we're going to do is we're going to just copy our original NIF. I leave it as just copy so that I know that it's the collision file, but you can name it whatever you want. You can give it a more proper identifier like collision file. And we're going to open our copy. The first thing that I always do is I go to spells, batch, optimize all indices. On a technical level, what this does is it reorders the vertex and triangle arrays to eliminate degenerates and aggregate the data into fewer but larger contiguous chunks of geometry. TLDR, it makes the NIF files easier for the game engine to read. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove any unnecessary parts, things that don't need collision or things that don't make sense to have collision. Like leaves. We'll see here we have this tri-shape here, this has leaves. And what we can do is we can either go to right click, block, and then remove branch, or we can just click on it and then control delete, and it's gone. Same thing for the other leaves here, we don't need those, right click, control delete. Now what we need to do is we need to, at this point, start thinking about what materials we're going to give each chunk or tri-shape of the NIF. From this, you can kind of see there's three main materials. There's wood, there's dirt, and there's stone. However, the stone here is in multiple different tri-shapes. And the way that the string index here works is you can only have, this has to be unique per tri-shape. So what we're going to do, because we want all these to be the same collision material, is join these tri-shapes together. And then that means they can all be under the same havoc material. So to start off doing that, what we are going to do is we're going to take these tri-shapes. You see they're all asset, rock, mossy. Helps to give your tri-shapes proper names so that they're more identifiable, not only for doing stuff like this, but also for reading crash logs. It's a lot easier to follow. So, the way that we merge tri-shapes, this is very useful for reducing draw calls, which is one of the main bottlenecks, is we go to one of these BS shader texture sets. This tells the game what textures to apply. And we're just going to right-click, block, copy, and then just paste over. Paste over this one, and then paste over this one. You see the UVs all get messed up. It does not matter. UVs do not matter at this point. Alright, and after that, we're just going to press save. We're going to go to spells, optimize, combine properties. Okay, you see that makes all of these BS shader text sets, because they're all the exact same, just have the 3 instead. That's the third block that the game renders. Okay, now that those are all the same texture, what we're going to do is we'll just save this. We can close it. We are going to open up Sniff. Set the path to the folder you have. It's always good to have a separate folder specifically for Sniff to path to. And then what we need to do is, let's just do a little universal fixer. See, I didn't have any problems. Always make sure to do that before doing collision. Just in case. You don't want to have any broken NIFs to feed chunk merge and then it breaks and you have a bad time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to group shapes, and then we'll see split into multiple 9 nodes based on 65,536 vertices and tries limit per node. So each tri-shape has a limit of this many vertices and tries. If you go above that, the game freaks out and just see that all of the geometry starts to warp and it doesn't look good and bad times. So make sure when you're making new NIFs from scratch, say in Blender or 3ds Max, that you do not go above that per tri-shape or per object in whatever 3D software it is. we're going to split into multiple nine nodes. We're going to have this checked, and we're going to have compare all textures also checked. We are going to process. You see updated our copy, which is our collision NIF. So let's see what it did. We go in, we look, it generated a nine node that just grouped all of the tri-shapes under. Fun. Good times. Now we can close that, and we go to options, and then we can go to merge shapes, and in this field we have .dds. We don't need exact match. Just put .dds, and we run it. It merges the shapes. And then bada bing bada boom, under the nine node we have one tri-shape, and everything is one big thing when we highlight it. Now what we need to do, we go to the nine node, block, flatten, and then what we can do is if you have multiple nine nodes that you merge together and whatnot, you go to spells, you go to optimize, you go to remove bogus nodes, then it just removes them all for you. Spells, sanitize, reorder blocks, that's all fun. And then what we do is we look at this geometry. This is a bit aggressive geometry for a collision file. The less triangles you have in your collision file, the more performant it is. So next what we're going to do is a good old NIF scope simplify. Let's just do a big one on the main thing. So we'll go to spells, simplify. We'll see here we have the target count. I always put that to 001. The max error, this changes depending on whatnot. You don't need log borders or prune. UV weight, normal weight, vertex color weight, does not matter. This is a collision NIF. It is purely taking the geometry and feeding it into chunk merge. So for max error, let's whittle it down to 001. Let's see what that does. That didn't take off that much. Okay, let's put it to 008. See triangles, wow, 10,000 triangles already. That's so much better. Generally, if you can aim for below 50% of the total triangles for the collision file, you're in good territory. Honestly, I think that's probably fine. We can just finish. Take a look at it. Yeah, that looks okay. Could probably simplify that a little bit more. The dirt's fine. How many triangles is that? 119. That's okay. This is 5,000. We can simplify this more. So we'll right click on the tri-shape specifically. Mesh. Simplify. And then let's do 0.4 for this one. Oh yeah, that's much better. That cuts that already in half again. Do that. Very nice. We'll just do, for a little bit of sanity, we'll optimize all indices. Okay. This is basically our finished collision NIF. The last thing that we need to do is we need to name each of the tri-shapes after a material that Havoc uses. Collision in Skyrim uses different materials that are defined by Havoc, which is the physics engine, to generate specific footstep sounds and hit reactions, etc, etc. So in NIF util suite, we have a NIF XML. We can just open that up in any text editor. You see, I already have it open, but if you just Control F and then search for sky_have, it will take you to here. This is every single option for a material that Havoc can use for this game. You see, there's a bunch of them. You can decide from these what you want. So what we're going to do is, now that we have this list, we can pull from this for whatever we want. I already know what I'm going to set these to. But if we take a look at this tri-shape here, we have the BS tri-shape. We can right click on the name, edit string index, and we just need to type in sky_have_matte_stone_heavy. You have to put underscores between each. It's annoying, but it's just what you gotta do. And that's renamed to that. Very fun. There's a dirt here, so we will right click on the string index, and we can just press that so that it shows up, it all fills most of it, and we'll just put dirt. Call it there, that's all good. And then for this, the main tree, what I would do for this, because it's quite a thick tree, we can probably do sky have matte wood heavy. Okay, and there you go. Now we have all of these named. We have a finished collision NIF. Now what we can do is we can just close out of our NIF. We have our original here. Make sure it's still there. Yeah, it's all good, all the exact same. We haven't accidentally messed with that. Always keep backups of whatever you're editing in case you make a mistake, so you can just do it all again. We'll close out of that. The next thing we need to do is we need to turn these NIFs into LE format. That's just because of NIF util suite and how old it is. My good friend Rob is working on a collision generator within Sniff that you don't need to convert to LE for, but that's going to take a while because the Havoc SDK is a nightmare. I've seen some of it. It's not fun to look at. But okay, what we're going to do is going to take this path. We will Control C. We will Control V. Set this to LE. Optimize. Bada bing, bada boom. You'll see the file size goes up drastically because LE format is quite unoptimized compared to SE. Now that they're in LE format, we'll just double check it just to make sure. Yeah, they're all nitri shapes. That's what we like to see. We'll go back to NIF tools. We will open up NIF util suite. Now, when you first open up NIF util suite, it'll probably scream at you about some missing paths or whatever. What you need to do is you go to Options, Edit, General, and you want to set the NIF XML to the NIF XML that's here. And you want to set the Templates folder to the Templates folder that's here. And then you can just close it. It'll say parameters incorrect. As long as you check it again, and you'll see that the path is fine. You'll see there. That's all you need to worry about. You don't need to look at textures or anything, because we're just doing this purely for collision. What we do is we go to Chunk Merge, this tab here, not any of the others. You go to Chunk Merge. Target file. This is the NIF that we want to add collision to. This is Tree Pine Forest 01. Collision file. This is the new NIF that we made, the copy of it that we simplified and did all that fun stuff to. We will put that in that file. The template. Now for us, for what I'm doing right now, this is a tree, so we'll set the template to a tree. However, you need to set this depending on what your NIF is. If it's a static, like a house or something like that, you'll put it static. If it's an animated static, you put it to animated static. If it's clutter, things you can pick up and throw about, like plates and bowls and whatever, you put it to clutter. If it's a weapon, you put it to weapon. Simple, straightforward. You put it to what it is. Simple as that. So we're going to set it to tree NIF for this. Then what we want for the collision source, you want to put it to mesh data. For the collision material, you want it to be name of nitri shape. And then what we're going to do is we just press add collision. You'll see there in the log, it goes to light blue. And then we can just close out of NIF util suite. We can go to NIF tools, NIF optimizer, we open that, put it to the right folder, wabam, convert it to SE, go back to our main NIF, and you'll see we have collision. Now there's one last thing we need to do, and that is add the BSX flags. So what you do is you go to your root node. For other objects, it'll be a BS fade node. If it isn't, and if it's a 9 node for the root, you want to go to right click, block, convert to 9 node, or convert to BS fade node. And then we'll leave that there. We want to go into here, the number of extra data list. We want to add 1. Then what we need to do is we just need to save. You'll see this as the drop down. Extra data 1, attach, Bethesda, BSX flags. Now for this, because it's just collision, you can just set bit 1 havoc. Alternatively, you can open Sniff and run the universal fixer, and then it will do the flags for you. We reorder blocks, we Control S, we close. I always, just for sanity's sake, run a little universal fixer. It didn't do anything, because I have a very clean NIF already. And there you go. We have collision. And you see it wraps pretty nicely, even with the less geometry. There's a couple errors in the original NIF itself. We don't need to worry about that. That doesn't matter. That is how you generate proper collision for Skyrim. As I said earlier, I would avoid band-aid fixes. Alright, thank you for watching, and have fun generating collision. It's not fun at all, it's boring and it gets so monotonous when you have hundreds of meshes, but yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.